YouTube land. So, I'll go back to my old show again, my old story. I keep watching these YouTubers here in the Philippines, Americans, Canadians, Europeans, whatever the fuck you are. All they do is complain and whine. It's really funny. They're not complaining and whining about where they live or the community that they're around or the girl that fucked them up. They're complaining about their own shit. Can't make their phone work. Can't make the computer work. I don't get it. How can you complain? I complain about logical things like my dog shit on the floor. That's a complaint. So, other than that, when you got 12 dogs and the dog shitting on the floor, that could be a complaint. Yeah, I don't know. And I get the biggest complaint that I see from these clowns is none of them have any money. They're all broke. They all live on their Social Security. They all moved here from wherever, thinking this would be an easy way to live, and it is. But then they choose the path of resistance. Move in with a bunch of Americans or a bunch of Canadians or into some fucking tourist city where everything is double priced. Spend your nights and your afternoons in the local bar buying beer that costs 80 pesos a bottle when you can buy it at the store for 40 or 4.35. I don't get it, man. I have a full bar in my house. If I want to drink, I got a whole bar. I know probably 60 bottles of liquor. I don't drink. I drink maybe 3 margaritas a week. If I don't even want to say that much. In 1 week, I have drank 3 margaritas. That doesn't mean I do it every week. I don't. You ask my wife if I drink, she'll tell you no. Huh? Oh, what? You want down? I got my baby with me this morning. This is Walter. Walter, say hello. Hello, Walter. There he is. Walter's got a skin issue, but he's getting better. Starting to look like a dog finally with hair. All right, get down. He's gone. It's breakfast time. My wife's feeding him. But yeah, you guys, I'm going to say this again to you, whatever it is you are calling yourselves, expats, Philippine guys, I don't know, whatever the fuck it is. Stop complaining about your neighborhood. Stop complaining about the government. Stop complaining about the police. Because you know what? All of those 3 people, when you start getting the cops knocking on your door to do safety checks on you, I don't know, the cops around here know me. They see me in town. They know if there's a problem, I'd stop and say hello to them. And they come by my house sometimes. They come by my house more to get drunk and to fucking party with me than anything else. Because they're nice. They're my friends. Well, they're semi-friends. I know them, but there's not an issue. And, when you do videos and you talk about how, your neighbors suck, your neighbors all have kids. Those kids all have phones. All those kids know how to use YouTube, I guarantee you, and they're watching you. And they're going, Mom, Dad, look what this guy said about us. He don't like us. Stupid people. Same with the government. I'm not saying the government watches all of your videos, but I would venture to guess that somewhere in the Philippine government, they have a specific bunch of people that watch the Americans' YouTube videos. I'd almost promise you that happens. It just makes sense. You have foreign people living in your country, good, bad, or indifferent. I'll bet you they watch all of them. They probably have a whole group of people that their job is to check out the YouTube videos and see what's being said online. I wouldn't doubt it. If I ran a government and I had a country and I had people living there, I would have somebody watching what was going on. It makes sense. It just makes sense. Hey, you guys, subscribe and give me a thumbs up. I like the thumbs up more than I like the subscriptions. Doesn't matter to me. Anyway, there's just things you do and things you don't. I've been in a lot of places, a lot of countries, and this is one of the few countries that I can say that if you talk bad about the government, it doesn't seem like they do anything. But you just never know. lately we've been having brownouts, which Saturday we have one that's going to be all day. It starts at 7 o'clock in the morning and it goes till 7 o'clock at night, I think. So that's the day we go to the beach, or we go to the mall. It's hard to go to the mall and spend 12 hours at a mall. But we've done it. If we go to the beach, the difference between going to the beach and going to the mall is air conditioning in the movies. And then you're burnt out. And then so you wander around going, you look in the same 30 stores that you've looked at a million times. We've been in some of the stores so many times, we actually know where the shit is better than the people that work there. And the other option is you go to the beach. Well, the beach that we like is about an hour and a half away. Well, actually, I don't even think San Fabian is any closer, is it? Hour? San Fabian is an hour away, isn't it, Lynn? Yeah. So even though beach that I don't like is an hour away, so you might as well drive the extra half hour and go to the beach you do like. So we might do that. I don't know. Hopefully our daughter's got the day off, I hope, and she'll go with us. Or, we could always drive to Baguio. You can do that sometimes. And Baguio also is about an hour. It's about an hour and a half or 2 hours away. So we could do that. And what do you do in Baguio? Movies, lunch, board for 5 hours, and then come home.
Next time we're going to the dinosaur island.
Oh, yeah. Is that Saturday? Next Saturday?
No, next week.
Yeah, next Saturday.
No, not Saturday. I don't know.
Well, sometime next week we're going to take a day and we're going to go to what's called Dinosaur Island. And check that out. It's some amusement park here or something. Something. I don't know. I guess it's supposed to be pretty cool, so we're going to go check that out. I just told my wife that she should take the day. I'm not much of a traveler. 70 years old. I've pretty much seen what I want to see, but I would like her to go and see some other places like Cebu and go to the beach and the flower thing. And one of my friends keeps sends me videos of where she's at. And there's all these really nice tourist places. I want my wife to go see some of them. She's never been to them either. Lived on the islands her whole life and lived on the island her whole life. There's 7,000 islands. I mean, if you only live on one of those, you don't go to the other 66,999. It's kind of dumb. You could literally, I think, spend a week on every one of the islands and die and not even see a third of them. So, I don't know. We got the money. She should just go and have a good time with RV and my daughter. I can feed the dogs. See, she don't like going anywhere because we have 12 dogs. And she has specific things she does for the dogs, specific ways she feeds them, and she don't want me to fuck that up. Yeah, well, we can do it. Oh, we had a tree fall down in our yard yesterday in the wind. That was kind of weird. It's one of my best trees for shooting the doves in. Anyway, guys, so as I was talking about the other YouTubers, all they do is complain. Every one of them, they complain about something. They get on, they whine, they complain. They talk about one of them. I think his favorite topic is bar girls. Who cares? You can't tell anybody else how to experience a bar girl. What is that? And even if they listen to you and understood what you're trying to get across, their experience is going to be completely different from yours. So, makes no difference. And then I listen to him. I don't know where he's going because the shit he says is just such bullshit anyway. And some of the things he says isn't real. And that's really kind of a trip. All the bar girls that work in this country, in these bars, call them bar girls. That's the resto bars. They sit and they want to drink beer with you and have a good time. Where it goes from there is up to you or up to them or whatever. But they can't leave that bar. And that's something that none of these guys have said that I've heard. They can't just get up and go, see, I'm leaving. No. They are basically like an indentured sailor. When they go to work for the bar, they sign a contract. The contract says that everything that they need outside that bar, they purchase from the bar. toilet paper, soap, toothpaste, toothbrushes, whatever it is, they buy from the bar. The bar takes it out of their wages, and their wages are simple. They get a flat rate, which isn't very much, and then they also get money per beer that they drink and that they get sold. So like if they're sitting with you and you buy a beer, they may get 5 pesos for the beer that you bought, and if the guy buys them a beer, they get 50 pesos off of that towards their salary, and that's their salary too. It's like an added part because their salaries are pissed, 300, 400 a day or something. So they can't just leave. You know, listen to this guy, Matt. I'm gonna blame this on you. I listen to your shit, and he says, he goes in the bar, picks them up, and leaves. Bullshit. I call that bullshit. Sorry. No. The girls, and most of the girls that are in these places after they've been there for a month, all they want to do is get the fuck out. They don't want to stay there in that bar. Most of them hate it. After they figure out, they go in and all they do is they're working there literally to support their family and nothing else. And I don't know what any of this is. And I actually helped a couple of them get out of the bar by paying their bill so that they could go home, and they both went home. And it wasn't like I wanted to go have sex with them or anything. They were just girls that were just nice to, be around. I was single, I was here by myself, didn't know anybody. I didn't know anything about the Philippines. They showed me around a little bit, and it wasn't really anything I was interested in doing. See you later after a couple days. And you learn the Philippines really simple by just being in the Philippines. Jonathan Wright, hello. And Eddie Less 80. Eddie Less 80. Sounds like me. Less something. How you guys doing? Nice to see you here. I think I've seen you before, Jonathan. I think I remember seeing that. Hey, anyway, you can't just do a blanket of all of the people that you meet in any place, bar girls or nothing else. Now if you're in Thailand, that's a little different story. They're all the same. But here it's not that way. Here they're all different. Got another husky just came in to visit. Are you visiting? And it's different here. It's a lot more peaceful, a lot more calmer. It's hard to see arguments and fights between people here. I think the only people that have any aggression in this country is the Americans. They're all. We got one American that we know. I've said this before. The cops don't like going to his house because he yells at the cops. Actually, 2 of them that I know. One of them says, "What the fuck are you doing on my property? Get the hell out of here." Tells the police. And the cops are legitimately afraid of this guy. I know him. I don't know why he would do that. The cops are just doing their job, doing what they're told. It's like they don't make up their job. They have a boss. Their boss says, "Go to this barangay, check on all the Americans, make sure they're all okay. Do it." They do like a wellness check on us once a year. Not quite sure why, but it's weird. But it's easy to live here, especially if you got a good woman like I got. Yeah, my wife is uncontrollable when it comes to taking care of our house. She works from 6 o'clock in the morning until 1 o'clock in the morning every day, taking care of her garden. Did it rain last night?
No, I don't.
It did, not very long. Yeah, we're kind of in the middle of a weird system right now. This is the end of, it's kind of like the end of summer, kind of. Beginning of rainy season, kind of. Which we're kind of glad because our wells are getting way down at the low. They're getting down pretty low. And we use quite a bit of water because we fill the pool and the fish pond every couple of days. The wells here, we're in like a river underneath the ground. And there's 10 or 12 wells right along where we're at. we're kind of in this area, we're like the top three in the group. But they're all the wells for the rice fields, and we have rice field all over out here, all around us. So they use a lot of water, but it goes right back in. You know, it goes right through the ground back into the well. So it's okay. And ours are deep water. For here, they're deep wells. One of them is 60, one of them is 90 feet. So that's pretty deep. It didn't need to be 90 feet. I made them go deep, so we had a storage of extra water in the well. Makes a difference. Yeah, it's pretty simple here. Watching the birds. So, what do you guys want to talk about? Give me a note. What do you want to know? I've been here 8 years. I know everything. If I don't know it, I'll fake it. How's that? Anyway, yeah, I'm kind of, I watch the other guys on their videos to kind of get something that I want to talk about. And, I can say honestly, I haven't found one. His name is Steven. Steven's from Europe somewhere, England, Britain, somewhere over there. He's planting a bunch of trees in his yard and getting ready he's older. I think he's in his, I said he was 60, but I think he's in his mid 50s, something. I don't really know. Anyway, he's getting his yard all planted up with calamansi trees and mango trees and some other stuff. I don't know, a bunch of trees. He's planted 60 trees, he said, so far. And he's out watering the trees. And I'm thinking to myself, man, you better get an irrigation system going on in that field, Plants take a lot of water to get started. Once they're growing, it's different, but you can't, the whole island is a jungle at one time. So literally, you throw a seed in the ground and walk away, you got a bush in a week. But I have to say, I admire this guy, Steve. Steven is married to a Philippine girl. He's got a son. It's his son, I think. And I think she's pregnant again. I think he's about to have a second one, which is really cool. So he's setting his whole farm up for his family, which is really nice. Oh, I got visitors again. I got 2 more of my dogs coming to visit here. Let's see. So I got, what happened there? I'm not sure what happened. There we go. So I got that one there. That's Brandy. And the other one left. The other one's a husky. Brandy's the kind of the weird chihuahua of the bunch. Anyway, I'm proud of him. He's setting it up for his family for later, And that's something else I got to say. You guys that are looking for girls and looking for wives and whatever, if you can't figure out who's good and who's not good, I don't know, you're a douche. That's all I can say. I mean, there's good girls and bad girls, like there's good men and bad men, and there's a definite difference. I mean, I don't think that I could get duped by a woman figuring out if I want to marry her or not. I just don't think that's possible. You're around her, as long as it takes. And once you're sure, then that's when you pull the string, But these guys, they jump in, I've been here a month, they get married, and 6-8 months later, they built a house, and they got all the shit. And then the girl shows up at the guy's house with her boyfriend that she's had for 10 years. Why don't you just wait a while if you're not sure? Now, and I say this kind of funnily because I really knew my wife a month and maybe 2 months before we got married 8 years ago. It's been happy ever since. We don't argue, we don't fight. It's me being an asshole more than it's anything else. But I don't think we ever have gotten in one argument, really. There's no reason. No reason to. It's just ridiculous. But these guys, a woman shows up at their house and introduces her, hey, this is my brother. Nice to meet him, And then, a month down the road after the brothers moved in, they find the guy that's married to her finds out that, no, that's her husband and you're just something else on the side. I don't know. I think at that point it might get violent. I'm not sure. But it's stupid. People are pretty weird all the way around, guys. You know, they really are. Hey, I got 3 thumbs up. Woo! And 5 guys watching. Anyway, I'm not the normal guy that talks here in the Philippines. You know, if you want bullshit, you can go listen to the Americans, the Brits, the Canadians. There's a bunch of them on here. I thought there was only like 10 or more. But honestly, I think that there is maybe 100 American, Canadian, European bloggers talking about the Philippines, and I keep running across more and more and more and more, and they're all the same. I swear they're all the same. They're all talking about how they got ripped off here, fucked there, it's so hot. You move to the Philippines, embrace it. Live here. Stop worrying about what you had, what you don't have. You're here now. This is what you have. It's easy to live here, man. It's beautiful. The country's pretty. Everything about this place is nice. It's easy to have friends. If you want friends, the Filipinos love to be your friends. You know, I don't have any. I have one American friend. I have one Norwegian friend. And I have one Swedish friend. Those are my out-of-the-country friends. And that's enough. Really and truly, that's enough. We're going to go see one of our friends today, I think. I'm not absolutely sure, but we might. Never know. Well, I've kind of had, I think Eddie and Jonathan, I think really, I don't know if you guys are still here, but I think I've said enough. I'm going to get off, do some more stuff. Got to play with my dogs a little. They're all bugging me to say hi. Brandy keeps coming and going, oh, come on, Dad. All right, guys, till later. I'll do another one of these around 2 or so, and maybe I'll have more to say. Have a good afternoon. See ya.